Friends of the social, good morning and welcome back to my channel. Today, I also changed the position of the camera a bit just to do something different. I have a mess behind me. It's fine like this, it's fine like this. What are we talking about today? Let's talk about road safety. No. Let's talk about some advice. You know that I am a taxi driver. I like to drive. So I drive every day. I have been a taxi driver for 18 years, 17 years and something. So let's say I know a bit, right? About what it means to be in the middle of the road and what it means to be out and about. Obviously, I'm not here to tell you to wear your seatbelt, keep your hands on the wheel, stay sober, and not look at the sky. I mean, the basics. I'm not even going to explain the basics to you, right? The basics are the rules of the road. So, giving way, those kinds of things. Normality. So let's start from a basis of normality. Otherwise, we're not talking about anything, right? I mean, if you're looking at your phone while driving, it's normal that you end up crashing, right? So there's a minimum. We're talking about normality. That said, some tricks, especially for young people, some food for thought. First point of reflection. Insurance pays if you're insured. So the most important thing of all is, as always, to get home safe. Because as long as you're just bumping into things slowly, fender benders, etc., let the insurance pay for it. But always remember that the most important thing is to get home safe. So, following this rule, first thing, what are the most dangerous things? It's not when you're going straight. It's when you're reversing, when you're going straight and reversing, especially if you're doing all the things you need to do, looking, etc. It's not that difficult. I mean, if you don't keep a safe distance in front, they might slam on the brakes, but otherwise, when you're going straight, the mistake is very difficult. So you need to raise your antennas. Mom, your antennas. You need to raise your antennas when you turn because that's where you might miss something. If you're turning and you haven't seen, you know there's a blind spot, right? You look. You saw it before. Then you got distracted and then you turn. Boom. That's where the accident is. If the car in front of you, even slightly shifted, stops at an intersection, at a crosswalk, for no reason, raise your antennas. Because if the road is clear in front of him, in your mind, the road is clear, and he stops, something has happened, something you don't see, or maybe he stopped because he's crazy. But usually, there might be someone with a bike, maybe there's a dog crossing, maybe there's a child crossing, and you don't see it because they're under the car. If the car in front of you stops, holy God. Don't think about how cool it is to accelerate and overtake it on the left because very likely something will pop out from that car. Very likely. So the first warning is to be careful when you turn, especially when there's a priority road. That's where disasters happen. When you turn and there's a priority road and you don't even know there's a priority road, that's a complete disaster. So when you turn, antennas up to the max. When you go straight, you can relax a bit. Within the limits, of course. Driving, that's fine. When you turn, be careful. When someone stops or slows down, be careful. It means there's something. I'm not an idiot. There's something that doesn't add up. There's a pothole. There's something that doesn't add up. Trust me, there's something that doesn't add up. Another piece of advice that isn't strictly about driving, but trust me, it can sometimes save your life, but above all, save you from unpleasant inconveniences. The horn is not a musical instrument. It shouldn't be played at will. It's not even a tool to wake other people up. It's not an alarm clock. It's not an alarm that goes off at traffic lights because the alarm goes off, okay? The horn is used solely when someone on the other side is distracted, hasn't noticed. So you honk to alert them in a way that prevents an accident. It's not meant to be honked at traffic lights. It's not meant to honk and insult someone. It's not for that. Why am I telling you this? Because as long as you're lucky, you won't hit anyone. Nothing happens, but maybe you'll encounter someone who insults you. But one day, it can happen that you meet the wrong person. But not because he is stronger than you. And then you have all this pride. Maybe you encounter him on the wrong day. Maybe, who knows, he caught his wife with her lover. Or maybe he has experienced a loss. Or maybe he has something else going on. That horn you blast at him only risks your safety. It only risks your safety. Avoid it. Listen to a fool, at most make 2 mistakes. If you really want to do something. But avoid it. And consequently, avoid arguing with drivers, because it's not a competition of who is tougher. When will you grow up? When you are young, it's a bit different. When you are young, you feel like the world champion. You have grown up. Now we break everything. We dominate the world. So you are not afraid of anyone. You can take them all down because you are the world champion, etc. Then, after a certain age, you understand that you are not a champion of anything. Simply, especially if you have a family and want to bring yourself home safely. Avoid it. Avoid it. Because in the best case scenario, you kill him. You end up in prison. There is nothing good about it. There is still nothing good. So to make you understand, avoid these discussions in advance, because even if you beat him up, you might end up in prison and you won't find anything good there anyway. Avoid them from the start. It's better. The last thing I want to tell you, especially for the younger ones, the others should know, watch out for the descents. I'm telling you this because when I was young, 18 years old, I had an accident going down from Tueranu, where all the hairpin turns are. And I flipped over with the Mondeo. I had a forest green Mondeo. When you go down, the braking is not the same. Know that. And also when you have a heavy car, maybe fully loaded, the braking is not the same. If you are heavy going downhill, it's even worse. You press the pedal and the car doesn't brake. It takes much longer. Now there are newer, more performant cars, etc. But be careful, because especially going downhill, it's harder. The last thing is snow. Puddles, guys. You see that I'm telling you this. The light should turn on by itself. Right. Especially when there's no visibility. Especially when there are these things. Stay safe. Always remember, you need to bring your skin home every evening. When you're there, you need to bring your skin home. Last fundamental thing, guys. This is fundamental, okay? This is fundamental. Drowsiness. Guys, it has happened to me many times. Because I sleep little, I get drowsy. As soon as you feel tired, there's the possibility to drink a coffee. Grab a Monster, lower the window, let the air in, give yourself little slaps. Everyone has their own methods, okay, to stay awake. But if you see that the fatigue is too much, there's a difference between having a coffee, recovering, and going, okay. But if the fatigue is too much, stop to sleep. Stop. You stop for half an hour, sleep, half an hour, sleep. You wake up, maybe you even drink a coffee, and then you start again. No, but it's late. I have to go. There's nothing more important than life. Listen to a little card, because with drowsiness, you can't do anything. I mean, you die and you don't even notice. You die, you don't even notice it. You're driving. You think you can make it. At a certain point, your eyes close, dead, and you don't even realize it. Drowsiness, fatigue, stop, even, for a quarter of an hour. Look, even for a quarter of an hour, you stop. Pull over, obviously, safely. You stop in a truck stop or somewhere safe. Lower the seat, rest, recover, take a walk, wake up, and then you arrive still, tired. Stop for another quarter of an hour rather. Do the trip like that, but don't travel if you're tired. These are the most terrible deaths, guys, because you don't even notice it and you're no longer there. Always keep your head in the game while driving, guys. A hug, a greeting. If you liked the video, share it. I hope, as always, to have given some food for thought. Here, I'm not teaching anyone anything, you know that. There are other videos to watch. If you want them, you can find them on the channel. Bye, beautiful people.